welcome to My Ebony Tower. My name is Gloria. I wanted to share some quick recipes that I'm making today. I'm just making spaghetti with ground turkey, and I'm also making what's called a spaghetti squash taco bake. The spaghetti is for my daughter. It's a real simple recipe. I don't really add anything. She likes very minimal things in her spaghetti. So I'm just really using the turkey, the marinara sauce, and probably a little sugar, and mix that all up, and it's a spaghetti. Now for me, I'm gonna add a little bit more flavor to go with the spaghetti bake. Probably, it's a taco bake, so I'm gonna add probably cumin, chili powder, but I'm just gonna cook all the meat at once and then add my seasoning separate. Over here I have some pans going. I have the big pan for the turkey, a pot for the spaghetti, and I'm also have some leftover chicken tenders that I'm going to cook here. I have some water that's going to be boiling, and this is how I always cook my chicken. I just boil it with some seasonings and bay leaf, and we can just munch on that, maybe make a chicken salad. So I'm just using up some leftovers I have, so stick around and let's get cooking. So here we have spaghetti squash. I'm going to cut it so that I have individual rounds on my baking sheet. I'll link this technique below. I found it on Pinterest. You need a really sharp knife. I don't know if you all have ever cut a spaghetti squash, but it's difficult, so be careful. Try this knife. No, still difficult. And these knives are brand new, so you know. If anyone has any tips and tricks for cutting spaghetti squash, please comment and let a sister know. Alright, I got the spaghetti squash cut up. It ain't pretty, but you just want rings. So again, any tips on how to get it uniformed and cute, let me know. To my meat browning here, I'm gonna add chicken broth. I like to add broth to my meats to keep it nice and moist, especially ground turkey. I don't want it to dry out. This water for the chicken is almost to a boil. And our pasta water is at a boil. I'm going to add salt and just some 1, 2, 3 vegetable oil so the noodles don't stick. Alright, to my meat, I'm going to add my seasonings, just some pepper, onion powder. I add this to all my meats. Garlic powder. Yes, smoked paprika. Love that. Lari seasoning salt. And, oops, parsley flakes that I just spilled everywhere. So our meat is browning up nicely. We got the pasta, spaghetti boiling, and I added my bay leaves and seasonings. Same seasonings I added to the turkey. I know, boring, but I just love those flavors as a base, and then I can add more seasonings as we eat on that chicken. Okay, so we've added the chicken into its yummy seasoning bath. I'm just going to give it a flip here. I like to cook this, just simmer it, low and slow. I just have 3 pieces left over. I might make a chicken salad, or my daughter likes chicken and jasmine rice. Pasta's going. This meat is pretty much done, but I'm just gonna let it simmer and then I'll add the marinara sauce. Next, we're gonna get with the spaghetti squash. I'm gonna use a spoon to take out the inner seeds. Put them on this baking sheet, and I also have a glass dish with olive oil and some Slap Ya Mama Creole seasoning. Be right back. Alright, let's go ahead and take the seeds out. I'm just using a regular tablespoon here. Just going to take the seeds right out of the middle. It's very sticky because all of this will be shredded into spaghetti. Spaghetti squash is really good. I've made it one time before, and what I did is I halved it instead of trying to make rings. There are a lot of recipes on how to do this on Pinterest. So I thought I'd try this method because I feel like it would probably cook faster. I'm curious to know, I wonder if this is like the seeds in here, if they're like pumpkin seeds. Can you eat them? I don't know. It smells so good in here. Like, I love the smell of turkey cooking. It's just something very comforting and nostalgic. Food is a big part of our family. My grandmother, Willie Bell, used to cook her butt off for the holidays. I really didn't get an interest in cooking until I was like in my late 20s. Rachel Ray on Food Network is who got me in the kitchen. And I still have the first recipe that I printed from foodnetwork.com. Alright, so I've sprayed my pan. Now I'm going to spray both sides of my spaghetti squash. I think I can fit 3 on here. This one's kind of big, so I'll put these 3 smaller. Oop, and I'm out of this. I'm just using the Trader Joe's olive oil spray. Love it. We're going to rub that in. Use your hands. Don't be afraid. And again, I'm going to season it with the Slap Ya Mama Creole seasoning. Just going to rub it on there like so. Rub it in. And these are going to roast in the oven at 400 degrees. Just till tender. Like, I check it by, it should shred. It should shred easily and look like spaghetti noodles. About, I think the recipe said about 25-30 minutes. We'll see. Most of the time it takes longer. Alright, put these in the oven. Alright, our spaghetti is done. Now, I learned that to know if your spaghetti is done, eat 3 pieces. And if all 3 pieces taste al dente or to your liking, then it's done. This chicken is doing great. I also like to kind of baste it while it's cooking. I literally just leave it here and let it do its thing. I love this chicken, so versatile. So to our meat, it's pretty much done. I'm gonna add just some Prego marinara sauce. And the secret ingredient, sugar. Just a little bit. It really complements the sauce. Now this is, I do this for sloppy joes too, except I add ketchup It's just a real basic, easy recipe. My daughter does not like onions chopped up in it and things of that nature. So I'm probably going to add just a little bit of water to my jar here to get the rest of this marinara sauce out and let it simmer.
Y'all are gonna be the best of friends. Where'd it go?
Alright, chicken is done. Ooh, it is so juicy and delicious. Now with these, you can make chicken salad, chicken quesadillas, chicken and rice, chicken salad. I mean, the options are endless. I just like having some chicken hanging around, and man, it is so moist and so delicious when I cook it that way. You know, I know a lot of folks use this method for, I'm making a mess here, for enchiladas. So I just cut it up and store it in the fridge. Delicious. All right, our spaghetti squash is done. So the recipe said to let it rest. I think this cooked for about 40 minutes. I forgot to time it. On the recipe, which I'll link below, it says you know it's done when you push the skin and get some pushback. So it looks good. We're gonna remove the skin, and then this looks good. The skin is coming off fairly well. Let me try this. And then you're just gonna shred it until you have spaghetti type noodles. Healthier version. I want to say, I don't know if these are keto friendly, but they are low carb. So you want to just shred with the fork. And get all the meat out. Ew, this is cool. So we're just gonna continue to shred. You hear my cat meowing. Hi, dear. What I'm doing. Look at that, it's nice. So in this recipe, what it calls for is to then put the meat, mix the meat with the spaghetti squash, put some cheese, and then bake it. I'm not gonna do that. Again, you saw me cook that big pot or big pan of turkey, and I'm just gonna throw the turkey on top of this, add some Mexican flavors like cumin, chili powder, my cheese, maybe some tomatoes or some salsa, some green onions, and sour cream. And that's how I'm going to prepare it. So if you want to follow the recipe, it's called a spaghetti squash taco bake or something like that. You can follow that. Sorry, my phone is dinging in the background. You can follow the recipe or just do it however you want. I mean, that's what I love about cooking. Is you can just kind of do your own thing. These are just some basic cooking with leftovers today. Alright, my super fast meal prep with leftovers is done. I have that chicken nice and moist. With that, we can do chicken salad, chicken tacos, chicken and rice, chicken quesadillas. If you have tortillas, you can even probably make a quick enchilada or just eat it with a snack with some crackers. I put that spaghetti squash in a bowl with some of the meat and some leftover green beans and baby tomatoes, cherry tomatoes that I sauteed the other day. So I'm just gonna have that probably tonight for dinner. Here's the meat. I like to keep the meat separate from the spaghetti just because, I don't know, I just pair them separate. Sometimes my daughter just likes the pasta with just sauce, or you can also use this meat like as a loose meat sandwich. Again, mix it with rice, put it over a different type of pasta. I mean, the possibilities are endless. I just wanted to share this quick little meal prep with you all and hopefully give you some inspiration and some ideas. So yeah, definitely get spaghetti squash. It's very delicious and versatile. It does take a long time to cook though. Alright, so like, subscribe, come back, and thank you for visiting my channel. Bye bye.